This is the largest solar facility being built in the United States right now. The Ivanpah project is 3 individual power plants powered by solar.
We are going to set 177,000 of these heliostats, which is the double mirrors.
We look to the unions for the skill sets of a journeyman worker, and to attain that status in all trades, you need to complete an apprenticeship program to do that.
As we're flying these mirrors here off our crane, we have 4 different crafts involved. We have an operating engineer running the crane. We have iron workers on the ground flying the mirrors off. We have an electrician hooking them up. And then you have the teamster, myself, who's transporting the mirrors in and out.
It's impossible for me to imagine building a facility like this without well-trained apprentices.
Apprenticeship programs have been around for over 100 years in the building trades. It's the way that we pass skills on to the next generation of men and women.
You actually go to work in the field, a minimum of 40 hours a week, and then 2 nights a week. For 5 years, you go to school.
They get 1,080 hours of classroom instruction, and then they get another 6,500 minimum of on-the-job training.
We'll use the apprentice for anything that we do, with concrete pours, putting forms together, operating loaders, forklifts. All our trades that we're signatured with, we're signed up for the apprenticeship program with every single one.
Gives them a set of skills that are used right away to earn a paycheck while they're learning.
The apprenticeship program allows us to use an existing generation of firefighters to train new firefighters.
Back in the 80s, Governor Brown came to us and asked us to establish the apprenticeship program. It's trained thousands of firefighters on how to be competent and prepared for the profession.
The most important thing for a construction worker is to be able to take on any task, any problem, build anything, do anything that's needed on the construction site. Apprenticeship programs teach those skills.
It's just like a university. You come here, you take a welding class, you take a rebar class, you take a structural class. You can come in here and take many different classes and learn more and more about the trade.
I'm 4th generation iron worker, so it's kind of ran in the family thick. Been learning different things out there on the job, learned how to plumb up, learning how to bolt up, getting a lot of good experience in.
One of the great values of the apprenticeship program is it speaks to so many young people who may not have the aptitude right away to go to college or the interest right away to go to college, but they like building things.
I was in the Marine Corps for 5 years. I did 2 tours in Iraq in 2003 and then 2004. If there wasn't an apprenticeship program for me, that'd be a scary thought. I could still be at home. My son could still not have health insurance. So I know for my family, for my wife, for my kids, it's made a huge difference in our lives.
While you're in the apprenticeship program, you're not only earning a living, you're learning a career for the future.
We're preparing them not only to be journeymen, but we're preparing them to be leaders in our industry. We're preparing them to be the foreman, the superintendent, the owners.
I started off being a carpenter apprentice, and that's how I got into the construction trade. And if I wasn't in my apprenticeship program, I wouldn't be working where I'm at right now.
Many of the owners of construction companies today started out as apprentices. Many of the superintendents today started out as apprentices. And many of the journeymen today are damn happy that they started out as apprentices.
Apprenticeship has taught the labor force to be productive and technical.
People think of a construction worker as someone who's running a jackhammer or running a piece of heavy equipment, but actually it's a lot more than that.
The gentlemen behind me are tradespeople, both from the local piping union and from the local sheet metal workers union.
Everything's electronic now, so those days of the big rolled prints, you won't see them as much anymore. So they're learning that, and it's going to be prevalent in pretty much all the jobs.
What's growing in California is still technology-based. And the things that are being built here locally are high-tech things. These are going to take skill sets that are right in our alley and are supported by our tradespeople and apprentices that come through.
The McCarthy Bridge over there in Oakland caught fire. We rebuilt that in 17 days. If you have a fast-track job, if you're working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, you need experienced workers.
We're talking to employers all over the state who don't have workers ready with the skills and work habits and orientation to the career path that they need to have.
For an individual to want to become an apprentice, they first off volunteer to start to participate and serve a 4 or 5 year program. So first off, you have a person with commitment.
They understand the value of work. They understand what you need to do to get the job done.
There's a whole gamut of different things they learn in class. They take those fundamentals and then they're able to implement them on the job.
If there wasn't a resource for that, we'd be having to somehow develop a program on our own.
There is no way the contractor or whatever industry it may be, they would be able to give the training that the training programs that they give their apprentices now.
Apprenticeship program really for the fire service provides order out of chaos.
When you think about the roles and responsibilities of our firefighters and our firefighter paramedics, is that they often make the difference between people living and dying. So when they respond on emergency incidents and they arrive in those incidents, training is critical.
California has the best mutual aid system in the country, which means that if you're in the far north, you could be tasked with going to Southern California on any given day for any given incident.
With the apprenticeship program, it gives us standardized training. Everybody's talking the same language, everybody knows what those skills are, everybody knows the limitations and the benefits of those skills.
It's very important because when stuff goes bad, we go back to what we know. And the more we train, the more we will divert back to what we know.
The firefighters in my department train minimally 2 hours a day. So the JACK program definitely enhances my department's ability and other departments' ability to maintain that minimum training.
By having a well-trained workforce, firefighters that know how to do their job, apprenticeship program actually saves lives and protects property.
Each craft has a joint apprentice training committee. It's equal numbers of union members and employer members.
The contractor and the apprentice committees, whatever union it may be, we work together hand in hand.
And they get together and talk about the needs of the future. They talk about how to make sure that we have the best possible workers on the job.
In the fire service, to get anything done, you've got to have labor and management working together. And that's why the apprenticeship program is so important.
Ultimately, there's a common vision to ensure that our personnel are well trained, that they're well equipped, and they're well suited for any type of an incident.
Because management's involved with labor and participates 100% with them, there's a partnership all the way through.
I hate to see it when lines are drawn between one side or the other. To me, it has to be a handshake from the very beginning.
We have an apprenticeship budget that is overseen by the California Department of Education, my department. We think that it's very important to protect the monies in that budget category.
Apprenticeship is actually the most bang for the dollar that the state gets of any program that I'm aware of.
The apprenticeship programs that we oversee are of the highest quality, whether it's firefighters or the plumbers or electricians of California. We work with their apprenticeship programs, channeling young people to those programs and then helping fund the training costs.
It makes certain that the partnership between community colleges and labor management programs continues.
The beauty of the apprenticeship program is that each each department in the apprenticeship program sets the standard of what training they want to have.
In my department, we have a regional training facility, Del Val, which is in North County and Santa Clarita. And we use the JACK money to actually start the seed money to begin that program up there. The other 31 departments in the county also benefit from that original seed money that we got from JACK to implement that new training facility.
We all are concerned with the safety of our public. So when we are on the same page when it comes to training and a level of service, it helps us be more effective and efficient for our communities.
California is leading the way, whether it be a clean room for a semiconductor manufacturer, or whether it be for a solar farm, or whether it be a data center. These are all individual skill sets, and having that apprenticeship come with those skills with them is invaluable.
I don't think it's possible to hire someone off the street and expect to get someone on a project like this to have the skill sets.
Having education that's relevant, that is connected to the jobs of the economy, the jobs that are available, is vitally important.
It's difficult to get people to work in a down economy, but the training goes on because the next time that we have a boom in the economy, you're going to need those skilled workers.
It's critically important to have a well-trained workforce. Apprenticeship programs provide that. They provide workers that are ready for today and for the future.
I wouldn't be sitting here right now if I didn't have the apprenticeship program. I wouldn't be where I'm at. And I don't know where the state would be without apprenticeship. Without a doubt, Apprenticeship Works. I'm a fine example.